What's your address?
This is Google Meet call. My name was
How was the weather down there? Good?
Yeah, it was cold. They broke my balls because they said, you broke the ball? Hey, Wayne.
How you doing?
Long time no see.
I know.
They broke my balls. They said I broke the cold weather.
Oh. You know, to paraphrase,
You don't want to sit here? Yeah, the sign's there.
Oh, you moved me down?
That's where we always were, right?
No, we
Tony's normally here.
Yeah, Tony's in your seat.
I don't know, what's a good one to use? I don't know what to say.
Maybe they'll put it on the screen.
Stand this way.
Set up here. Okay, you ready, Scott?
Yep.
Okay, good evening, welcome to the Planning Advisory Board meeting of December 11th, 2024. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Board Member Warner.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag
Of
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, good evening. Secretary Byrne, please call the roll.
Chairman Stanko.
Here?
Member DiLeonardo is absent. Member Chabina?
Here.
Member Warner?
Here.
Member Castellane? Here. Member Byrne is here. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Okay. Format for the meeting this evening includes a presentation from the applicant, questions and comments that the board may have, and then any interested parties may speak on the application. And we ask that anyone who wishes to speak this evening to do so from the podium, and please state your name and address for the record. We have one item this evening, 1038 Brush Hollow Road, Westbury, New York, 11590. The applicant is seeking a site plan approval from the Planning Advisory Board in accordance with the town's site design standards. This site plan application involves the demolition of all existing structures in order to construct a two-story, approximately 28,400 square foot footprint car dealership with accessory service center and associated site improvements. The proposed use for the subject property is a permitted use pursuant to Chapter 246, Table 5.2 of the Code of the Town of Oyster Bay. Do we have any correspondence on this, Secretary Byrne?
Yes, Chairman. We have a memo from the Zoning Division dated April 14th, 2022, stating the subject property located at 1038 Brush Hollow Road, Westbury, New York, 11590, has a Nassau County land and tax map designation of Section 11, Block B, lots 1046 and 1090, and is located within the LI Light Industry Zoning District. We have a memo from the Department of Environmental Resources dated October 18th, 2024, recommending the adoption of a negative declaration for the purposes of SEQR. We have a memo from the Code Enforcement Bureau dated April 14th, 2022, stating there are no open code cases on the subject property. Chairman, since this memo is several months old, the Planning Division contacted Code Enforcement this week, and there are currently no open code violations. We have memos from the town's Department of Public Works Highway Division dated April 19th, 2022, and Engineering Division dated August 2nd, 2022, stating they have reviewed the site plans and have no objections. We have a memo from Keith Holloway, Planner 2, Nassau County Department of Public Works, dated March 6, 2024, stating the proposed plans are conditionally approved under the New York State General Municipal Law 239F. We have a memo from the Planning Division dated December 10, 2024, stating the required parking for the subject property is 137 parking spaces, and 145 spaces have been provided. We have a memo from the Planning Division dated December 10, 2024, stating the division has conducted a review in accordance with Chapter 246, Section 6, Site Plan Review of the Code of the Town of Oyster Bay, and is referring the site plan to the Planning Advisory Board for appropriate action. We have the affidavit of sign posting and the affidavit of mailing from the applicant. Chairman, I just want to add that we do not have the Nassau County Planning Commission. This meeting, as you know, is scheduled for tomorrow. The Planning Commission's meeting as well is scheduled for tomorrow, so we moved the meeting. So I just want to put that on the record. We don't have that as of today.
Okay. All right. Okay, so with that,
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. For the record, my name is Wayne Edwards, Sawn Ward, Braff, Coscignano, 333 Earl Ovington Boulevard, Uniondale, New York. We are the attorneys for the applicant, Alpha Westbury LLC. The applicant is before you today to approve the site plan for the construction of a new Audi car dealership. It'll be Westbury Audi. At 1038 Brush Hollow Road, Westbury, New York, known as Section 11, Block B, Lot 1046 on the land and tax map of Nassau County. It is zoned light industrial on the official zoning map of the town of Oyster Bay, and a car dealership is a permitted use in that district. As you will note, the parcel is irregularly shaped and located on the east side of Brush Hollow Road, north of the Northern State Parkway, and is 2.39 acres in size. The frontage on Brush Hollow Road is 305 feet. The east side of Brush Hollow Road is commercial, and the west side is commercial and residential. In terms of my knowledge of Brush Hollow Road, I still call it the place where Westbury Music Fair is. But over the years, it's developed with Rally Motors, BJ's, movie theaters, hotels, and other uses. Behind our dealership, our proposed dealership, is an industrial area on Shames Lane. And in fact, at the intersection of Brush Hollow Road and Jericho Turnpike is Westbury Jeep. So a car dealership is in character with the neighborhood for this area. The property was formerly used as Zano's Garden Center and Nursery, and before that, if your memory goes back, it was a tennis center, had a blow-up bubble in a building. As part of the process in terms of getting your approval for the dealership, it has taken many steps, and I think Member Burns has basically detailed in all the memorandums that have been submitted by different departments in Nassau County what we've gone through. As stated, we have obtained 239F approval from Nassau County Department of Public Works for the required curb cuts, road alignment, pavement marking, site drainage, and potential impacts on public facilities. And on March 6, 2004, they gave us their conditional approval. As part of the town process, we submitted the plans not only to the Town Planning and Development Department, but also to the Department of Environmental Resources. We went through the entire TEQA process, and follow-up information was submitted. That was done by our engineers, North Coast Civil Engineers. The applicant responded to all of their comments in terms of what they had, and we also reached out to the Jericho Water Department and the Jericho Fire Department, who also signed off on this project. On October 18, 1924, as stated, the Department of Environmental Resources recommended a negative declaration for this project pursuant to CEQA, so that the application can be sent over to you for review. We've had communications constantly with the Department of Planning and Development regarding the status of the application, and during that time there was additional comments and correspondence back and forth, and those comments were incorporated into the plan. To run through the plan that we have before you today, the building will be proposed as stated a two-story building with curb cuts on either side of the building leading to visitor parking on either side of the building. There's a parking lot for employees as well as for the parking of new and used cars. The total square footprint of the building is 28,300 397 square feet. The second floor is not a full second floor. It's basically like a mezzanine. It has 5,629 square feet for a total gross area of 34,026 square feet. The showroom, where the sales go on, and where we have salesmen on that floor as well, is 9,635 square feet. That has, as I indicated, offices, and in any luxury car dealership, you have to have a reception area for people to sit as they're waiting for salespeople and discuss things with salespeople. There'll be coffee there, as well as comfortable chairs. There's also a service area behind the showroom that has a service reception area of 3,007 square feet, a parts area of 3,007 square feet, and a service area of 11,844 square feet. There'll be 19 bays with 5,625 square feet. The proposed hours will be Monday through Friday, around 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's not definitive yet. Saturday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Sunday it's closed. This dealership is also affiliated with Audi Great Neck, so it's kind of a dual dealership. As part of the application, a landscape plan was submitted around the circumference of the lot, as well as the landscaping on the parking lot islands as well. We submitted a photometric plan, which indicated the light from the parking light fixtures will be kept on the premises and not shine over to adjoining properties. All drainage will be maintained on the property, and the drainage plan has been reviewed by the town as well as the county. The building has a front elevation facing Brush Hollow Road with the service areas behind it. There's also a small car wash, but it's not for the public. It's just for the dealership itself. That will be at the rear, and it's a small one. It's not a tunnel. It's just basically the machinery can go back and forth. I have submitted, in terms of a little packet to you, in the packet there'll be a rendering. It's basically in the front, it'll be glass with metal accents. It's within the, when you have these large companies like Mercedes-Benz, Audi, BMW, they have a design concept package that they do. This is going to be the first one for this type of building. It's the newest one, so we're all looking forward to it, and as well as Audi's looking forward. I just also included the decision by the Board of Zoning Appeals in 2015. This application came to the town around that time for a much larger building, around a 51,000 square foot building. You'll see I also attached to that the site plan that went with it. It was approved by the Board of Zoning Appeals. Site plan was at that time within the Department of Planning, the Planning Department. So it never got built. But it was much larger and approved. We'll be going for, in terms of this building, the only variances we need, and if this board approves in town, and you'll need to go to the Board of Zoning Appeals for a front yard variance. The required front yard is 50 feet. We are showing 9.5 feet, but because of the irregular shape of the parcel, we couldn't push the building back. So that's the reason for it. Thus, we're requesting the board issue a recommendation to the town board approving the site plan. And that's basically my presentation. I have with me Doug Castellano from North Coast. I also have some representatives from Audi as well, if you have any questions regarding the operation of the dealership.
Okay? You want to add anything, or?
I'll just make it
Okay.
quick. Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, Doug Castellano from North Coast Civil, 39 West Main Street, Oyster Bay, New York. That was a great presentation. He kind of summed up everything that I would have said. I'll just let you know that also our architect couldn't be present tonight. I do have copies of the architectural plans. I can address some questions on that as well. So if there are any questions on the site engineering, layout, traffic, anything like that, I'd be happy to answer.
I've got a couple questions.
Sure.
There's a rear retaining wall
Yes.
in back. What's the height of that wall?
So the maximum height of the wall in the furthest tip, it's all the way down here. That's the maximum height is
Right.
about 7.5 feet.
Okay.
And then the most of the rest of the wall is like 4 to 5 feet.
Now, that's 7.5 feet drop off from your property to the other property.
That's correct. That's correct.
In a drop off of 7.5 feet, I mean, I would think that you'd want to put some kind of a barrier there,
Well,
a
yeah.
physical barrier, or, you know, a guardrail or something like that.
Right. Well, we actually, I think by New York State code, we have to put a guardrail. I don't know if it, I don't think it's shown on the detail.
It is.
But they'll have to, yeah, we'll have to put some sort of a guardrail there so nobody goes over, because it is right up
I think there's a town
against.
ordinance that also requires that when you
Right,
have a,
right.
when you have a retaining wall.
Okay, we can amend the detail to show that guardrail.
Yeah, well, I'd like to, you know, to
Okay.
do that.
Okay.
Also, I assume that the HVAC for this building is on the roof,
That's correct.
and now it's an architectural question.
Right.
The location, because, I mean, you got a beautiful building here, and the town ordinance does require screening. And I didn't see any drawing that showed me the location of the HVAC units. Unless there is already some screening or a parapet wall or something like that up there?
So just to clarify, there's no current screening. There will, obviously, as per town code, we have to screen any utilities that are on the roof.
Right.
So I will just state that the front half of the building is 24 feet in height, and the back half is actually a little bit lower. That's on the service side. I think the idea was to have utilities on the back half of the building, which is a little
You
bit
know,
lower.
I'm just, from an architectural standpoint and
Yeah.
and a visual standpoint, you know, I know that they want their building to be as beautiful as possible.
Right.
But I would just like, you know, to get that answer on an amended plan also, you know, an architectural
Okay.
plan to tell us where the approximate location is and the type of screening.
Okay, understood. We can submit a roof plan that shows any
Okay.
HVAC or things like that.
And is there any plans for a generator on the site?
At this time, I don't believe so. I don't know if ownership knows yet, but
Maybe
we don't
after-
have a current
Maybe
plan.
after tonight, you're going to think about,
Yeah, I know, with the wind and stuff, yeah. Right.
And just my last is that that ground sign that you're proposing in the front needs all sorts of variances.
That's correct. So it's 20,
Are you, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, go.
Is the applicant going to do both at the same time?
Yes.
File for the signage and get a rejection, and also get a rejection for the
Yes, we
building?
we don't want to have two hearings.
Yeah, you just want to do one
Just
hearing?
one hearing at the same time.
Okay. That's all the questions that I have. Thank you.
Okay.
Scott, anything on your end?
Yeah, how do the cars get delivered, you know, for the new inventory? How do they get to the site?
So, so the cars, there's actually a couple other sites that ownership owns, and the cars will be delivered to those sites, and then either one by one, driven over by, you know, valet, one at a time, or a small flatbed. Yeah, I think it's a 30-foot flatbed that we show on our site plan for auto turn. There's just not enough room with the awkward configuration of this site to have those tractor-trailer deliveries.
Yeah.
So it was agreed that we would bring them over either one at a time, or, you know, if you could get two on a small flatbed, that would be the most.
Okay.
But that's it.
So there wouldn't be the tractor trailer in the middle of
No.
Charlotte Road? back
No,
there?
yeah, no.
We see that too often.
Not at this site, no.
California striping?
Huh?
When do California striping? Do you have
It's
that?
on there.
It's on there.
Yeah, so all the stalls will be double stripe, yeah, double line, yep,
No, you
yep,
have the detail right on the first page.
yeah, yeah.
As far as inventory, I see that, I think you have 24 cars for inventory. That's going to be the maximum at the site at any given time?
Right, so, yeah, the bulk of the inventory is actually off-site. Like I said, they'll keep some cars on this site, but I think the idea was to have those large deliveries at a different site, store them there, and then as they're needed, bring them to this nicer facility.
Okay.
And is it common practice to have those head-in spaces on the north side where it says that the rear spaces will be vehicle inventory, and, you know, then you have the proposed parking for the customers? I mean, you know, you got I don't know how much, a $60,000 car sitting out there, and, you know, you get somebody turning in and bang, you know, you gotta, whatever.
I mean, ideally, hopefully, nobody crashes into the
Yeah.
inventory that's stored there. We do, you know, they will be striped out. I don't know if there's a way of controlling that, but, yeah, essentially, in tandem, the spaces for storage are right
I mean, I just
behind
wanted to
there.
know if it's a common practice in dealerships, you know, whatever.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Is there a spot then for demo cars if you came in to test drive? You know, how would you get that?
That's a good question. I don't know if we have a specific laid-out spot.
In terms of, we're, even though in terms of code, we have a certain amount of spots that we have on this space, in terms of actual usage, we're probably only going to use, in terms of employees, 50, and then we have customer parking, so we're over-parked, so like demo spots, demo cars and everything will be kept in a place that they can be accessed, and a lot of, at least in my experience, sometimes I end up driving the salesman's car as a demo, in terms of a demo as well. So it's kind of, it's almost like a self-storage. We sometimes they provide a lot of spots, but nobody ever uses those spots. So, you know, we recognize that, but again, we're in tandem with Great Neck Audi. So we have these large lots where we keep cars, and we'll be moving cars back and forth, and, you know, in terms of on-site parking, we'll have sufficient number of cars for demo and a sufficient number of cars for them to see in terms of inventory. It's a huge investment, so everything's been looked at, but that was an interesting point, Mr. Warner, in terms of the tandem parking. I don't think they ever thought about it, and I think they're going to think about it now.
The stop bar, is that just painted, or is that, you have a speed bump, or what do you?
So the stop bar leaving the site on both sides is painted. I also wanted to point out that there is a right-hand turn only leaving the site on both sides.
Oh.
The county does not want any left-hand turns across, you know, 4 lanes of traffic, so.
Okay.
It's right-hand turn only, that will be painted on as well as the stop bar.
Anybody over here?
As far as the car wash, is that just for vehicles being serviced, or is it anyone with an Audi that can come by and get a car wash?
It's only for, yeah, it's only for this site, yeah, it's only for cars either being serviced or if
Being
someone buys
serviced,
one
so,
there.
yeah, coming in to get an oil change or something, and they wash the car.
Exactly.
Out of courtesy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like you're wandering down Brush Hollow Road and you're driving an Audi, you got some,
Yeah.
Burns Audi or something.
Thank you. The last thing I have, and this may be more of a building department issue, but I'm just looking at the handicap accessible spots on the southern side of the building, and the site plan is showing the doors swinging out. I would just check the accessibility there, because if somebody's in a wheelchair coming down the curb, depending on their approach to the door, where the handles are, you might not have the depth there. It looks like the doors swing out for the majority of the sidewalk. So
Okay.
I'd just look into that. You might need to
Yeah.
cut in, you might need to cut into the building a little bit.
Yeah, we can even think about recessing the doors if we need to, but
Yeah,
that's something we'll look
that's,
into.
yeah, I would just take a look at that.
Okay, thank you.
All the lighting's dark sky compliant?
That's
shielded?
correct. Yeah, that's correct. All lighting is dark sky compliant. I thought one thing that was actually nice about this site is, I think this code allows for 20-foot maximum. The light poles that we're showing are 14 feet, so it's much less than what's allowed in this area. And again, we did, as Mr. Edwards stated, provide photometrics to ensure that no light spills off the property.
Good question, yes.
Just a second, is there any sections here dedicated for snow? I'm not seeing that.
So on the truck maneuverability plan, we do show some stockpile areas. Most of it's, you know, to the outside. The idea is to not pile it in the parking lot. This way it doesn't impede on the use. And of course, if there is, you know, a major snowstorm event, which we don't really have any more, but if there is one, they'll have to cart any additional snow off the site so that it doesn't impede on the use.
You're including irrigation for all the plantings?
That's correct, yep. That's labeled on the landscape plan, irrigation for all the planters so the plants, you know, survive.
Scott, you closed your folder, okay? Okay, over here? Okay. Any additional comments? Anyone wish to speak on this application?
I think there's one neighbor.
Okay, come on up. No, come on up here, speak from the podium and state your name and address.
Hi, my name is Louis Zhang. I live in across street. It's 69 Ruby Lane. My question is, right now that street is very crowded, and it's too much noise on the street already. But I don't like have buildings built there, make the street more busy. And if here the building want there, I want to build higher fence, make a little bit privacy for my house, and maybe can keep down the noise. Right now the noise is not good, and this building will just close my house, and he will open Saturday. Maybe right now Saturday is a little bit better because nobody work. But here, if open, every car will come in, every customer coming can make more busy on that street. So I want to make high fence for this.
All right, so the high fence for the neighbor, where are you located, by the way?
Across street, six.
Across the street?
Yes, No.
Across Brush Hollow?
across Brush Hollow. It's 69 Ruby Lane.
Oh, across Brush Hollow. So how do you, any accommodation there? I don't know.
Are you saying that you want to put a fence up yourself, or you want them to put a
I
fence
want to
up?
put it myself,
he
but
wants
I
to put
want
a
to let
fence.
them pay for it.
Oh, they want me to pay for it?
Yeah, but I can share, but my concern is that fence usually is 8 feet high, but I can see that building. I want to put a higher fence, higher than 8 feet.
That's against code for us. to
What's
pay,
the
isn't it?
code,
Yeah,
6?
code is 6 in Oyster Bay.
Code is 6 feet, yeah.
I want
Yeah.
to make a 12 feet fence.
You
Do
can,
you have a
You're not
fence there
allowed.
now?
I have fence now, but it's not high enough. Right now, it's too much noise. If the building there, and more customers, more car come in, every day I can't sleep there.
The problem is are you the corner house?
Yes?
Problem is that if you wanted an 8-foot or even a 6-foot fence in the yard, in the front yard, you would have to go to the zoning board of appeals, because you're not allowed to have anything over a 4-foot fence in the front yard. And you have 2 front yards. You have one on Ruby Lane and one on Brush Hollow Road. And, if you came to the town and asked for a permit, they would reject you, and then you'd have to go to the zoning board of appeals, file an application, and get them to say it's okay to have a 6 or an 8-foot fence
Or 12.
on the front, or 12 on the front, in the front yard. The one thing that they would worry about is the sight lines, looking to see for cars coming or whatever, for people coming out of Ruby Lane. I mean, you wouldn't be able to build right to the fence. I think the normal, what is it, 30 feet, Scott?
yeah, 30 feet
Yeah,
on the
I
intersection.
mean, there's got to be a clear space along Brush Hollow Road, at least 30 feet, so that people can see.
Yeah.
So that would limit your, but it might be enough to help you, but if you went to the town, that's what would happen. If you went to get a permit for
So-
anything over a 4-foot fence, you would end up in the zoning board of appeals.
I can left 30 feet from that space, like you say, that corner, leave 30 feet. But do you think this will be work? So
It would work.
I can apply for 12 feet high?
No.
Will they grant 12 feet?
I don't think they
I
would,
don't think
I
they
don't
would-
think,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
they
they would
would
ever
grant
grant
12
12
feet.
feet.
Yes.
Because then they set the precedent. You
I
might be,
mean-
I've seen them grant up to 8 before in certain situations. But
But
I've
that-
never seen more than 8
I
on a
couldn't see any
residential
more than
property.
8.
If not higher than 8 feet, the noise still come to my house, and the privacy building, I don't want to see the high building from my face, so that's why I object for this one.
Sure. So you do have the right to put in an application for whatever you want, you have that right. The building is only 25 feet tall, so even in the residential neighborhoods, you're allowed to go 28 feet tall. So the height of the building isn't any higher than is permitted in the residential zone. They're allowed to go up to 50 feet in this zone, but they're not.
Okay. And I can send about like a environment about my neighborhood, because like I don't know what it looks like after
Well, are you
building.
willing to accommodate anything to help this resident?
Yeah, usually, I'll be honest with you, I am one of the most accommodating people. I just don't know how to do that at this point in time.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it's across from Brush Hollow Road, in terms of the active part of the building, which would create noise and things like that, that's in the rear of the property. It's a light industrial district. If I went through.
What if he, instead of the fence, what do you plant there? What's a good-
Arborvitae.
Good planting? Some kind of a planting, what's that?
Yeah, arborvitae's.
Like
My neighbors did that already, but he said that the work.
Arborvitae's will be taller than the fence.
Yeah, it's a very tall tree, like a double higher, maybe 12 feet, but he say, keep some, not, you keep them stay outside, keep some privacy, but I try to keep noise, much noise.
It's Brush Hollow Road. We can't stop Brush Hollow Road.
Well, I think at the end of the day, and is that if I took a look at the light industrial and the permitted uses, this use in terms of noise, in terms of light, in terms of activity, is a lot less than the other uses that are permitted in the light industrial zone. We're not next to the property, we're on the opposite side of Brush Hollow Road, and I normally would think of something to accommodate, but I don't think, and I'm trying to be sensitive, I don't think this is a problem with Brush Hollow Road. It's not a problem with our use. And our use, I think, it will provide, in terms of taxes, I know this board doesn't take that into account, but take a piece of property that's basically vacant and hasn't been used and make it more productive, provide funds to not only school district, town as well, and sales tax, and be a very viable use on, like I said, the character of the neighborhood. Now this will be the third car dealership. Right next to us is an ironworks. That could be much more intensive. Behind us is industrial use. As these become more benign uses, like you have a hotel, you have a set-back BJ's and a movie theater, I think in terms of traffic and everything, this is probably the least you could think of. Probably one of the best uses.
except for him, it's not the least.
I know, but it's.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
Mr.
see if you
Chairman,
know the two
Mr.
of you
Chairman,
can work something out.
I wish I could work something. I'll talk to my client about it. We'll take
I
his
think
card.
that's-
and
I think that's
I'll see
fair.
what I can do in terms of maybe some Leland cypress or something like that.
well-
But we're not going to put a 12-foot wall up, and that the town
No.
would have permitted anyway, so.
But the gentleman came down here.
I know, I'm sensitive.
And I think we always try to say, meet with the residents, meet
Okay.
with, beforehand.
I'll give him my
If
card. and
that's-
I'll give
that's
him
all
my
you
card
can
and have him
do.
give me a call, and I'll speak to the client.
And
But I don't want to
instead
make
of a
any
fence,
promises now. okay?
Maybe,
I mean, I think one of the things
You know.
that we have to consider also is, I don't think this use is going to add 100 cars or 1,000 cars a day to
No.
Brush Hollow
That's
Road.
what
No.
I'm saying.
I mean, what's there is there, and, this building isn't gonna make or break Brush Hollow Road as far as intensity.
I think that's why I referred back to my old days at Westbury Manor, because that was the only thing on Brush Hollow Road really at that time. And that's why, I didn't know
All right.
Brush Hollow Road existed when I was 14 or 13 years old. But now it's become a
Major thoroughfare.
well, a major thoroughfare, and it has very good uses on it.
Yeah.
It has uses that the neighbors want, and centrally located, and it happens to be a good thing. But look, you're not making a decision tonight, I
No.
don't think, so let me talk to my client, I'll give him my card, and we'll circle back with him. I'll get his phone number.
that's all we're asking.
That's all I can promise you.
You know,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
all, that's fair.
That's very fair.
Scott, what are we gonna do? Gonna vote, okay. Anyone else wish to speak on this application? If none, I will ask for a motion on it.
I'll make a motion that we approve.
For my neighbor.
Oh,
My
pardon
neighbor didn't come. He wanted me say about for security something, because my neighbor with me have kids very small. He concerned about some car make accident in our neighborhood.
Yeah, you can have an accident, you can have an accident anytime or any place. I mean, the way those cars are on, on that main road,
Yeah.
and they're going to be coming out, making a right turn. I don't think they're going to go,
They're not
They're not
they're not going, right?
They're gonna have to go north. When
Yeah.
they come out of the site on either entrance, they're gonna have to go that way. They're not gonna be cutting across the traffic to go south.
Right.
Have-
So
but
that's a plus.
have once is a car come to drive to my house. I think it's accident. But right now, I don't know is this dealership can make this street more cloudy or more busy. So that's my neighbor concerned. But he didn't show up today. He walking, wanted me ask a question, but I just for this.
It's unfortunate, but we'll see what we can do about the other anyway. The
Okay.
traffic is the traffic, and the cars are the cars. They're not, you have a lot of cars right now, so, I mean,
Okay. And about the
we appreciate your comments,
Okay,
though.
thank you. And I want about the fence for myself. If that fence I can prove, make I building, I can pay myself. I already checked with my neighbors. My neighbors told me we want to build a fence ourselves. We can build if I just want to prove. If they made me build fence, we no object for this dealership. If we can't make this fence, we object for this dealership.
Okay. Accept your thoughts.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Scott? Oh, motion? That was you. Sorry. Go
I'll
ahead.
make a motion that we approve the site plan, subject to the Nassau County Planning Commission approval of the plan as submitted. If there's any discrepancies with the county, we'll handle that at a later date. Also, I'd like to have the plans amended to show a guardrail in the rear. And I'd also just like to have some idea as to the location of the HVAC on the roof and the type of screening that's going to be applied or, installed.
Understood.
Is there a
Anything
second?
else?
Anything?
Second.
Second, Cliff? Okay. Call the roll.
Okay, on the motion by Member Warner, seconded by Member Tribina. Chairman Stanko.
Aye.
Member Tribina.
Aye.
Member Warner.
All right?
Member Castellane.
Aye.
Member Burness, aye. Chairman, the motion carries.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have a good evening.
Well, I had all the partners except good friends with the company.
Yeah, that's perfect, as soon as you see it. Perfect, great.
I can only do what I can.